will soon know. Galactic pathways brightly show. Universe's cosmic flow.
Hi, my name is Iri and I'm a Vedic astrologer. I was into astrology all my life, but recently, a few years ago, I started to dive deep into Vedic astrology, the Jyotish one, that translates as a bringing the light. And I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the formulas, I'm fascinated by the algorithms, and I really see the results I see on my charts, on the charts of my family, that it's really working. And I'm starting this YouTube channel to share with you Vedic astrology, to share with you knowledge, to share what I think about through the prism of astrology about this or this event or this event. And in this particular video, I want to make an analysis of a birth chart of P Diddy, P Diddy, Sean Combs, it was a little bit difficult to find his birth chart, and unfortunately I lost the link where I found, because there's one Vedic astrologer who was analyzing his chart, and I think he did some rectification of his birth chart, and so that's how I know it. And I hope I will be able to find that video, and I will make a link down there, because I don't want to leave the person without credit. But also I did my own rectification of this exact time birth, and well, there's three life events that suggest that this birth time is correct. First of all, his father's death. Second, it's the first Grammy Award, and the third one is the second Grammy Award that he got. So based on that, I 100% sure that this is a correct birth time. For example, so he's a father, Melvin Earl Combs. He was in Air Force, and as it mentioned in the media, he was working with the drug lord Frank Lucas, and he was gunned down on 26 January 1972. So in Vedic astrology we use Vimshottari Dasha periods. This is very different from the Western astrology. In Western astrology there is no such a thing, and that's why I'm so in love into Vedic astrology, because here you have so many different tools. Here you have so many different aspects from, like, you have divisional charts, you have Chara Dasha, Jaimini astrology, you have Vimshottari Dasha, there's like other dashas that I haven't learned yet, but it's just incredible how many tools we have with that type of astrology. And so when his father was killed, well, first of all, let's mention that Sun is a natural significator of the father figure, and it's in 12th house of losses. So this already tells us that the person will eventually be separated with the father, and that's what exactly happened. Also, it's in a very weak position. It's in the worst position that you can imagine. It's in a Libra, yeah, so the sun is falling, and so when his father died, it was a Vimshottari Dasha period of Venus. It was Antardasha Venus and Pratyantardasha of Mercury. So first of all, Venus are losing war to Jupiter, so this is like and also it's debilitated, so it's sort of weak, and Venus is doing Parivartana with the Mercury. So there's a strong connection between Mercury and Venus. And because Mercury is ruler of the 8th house, which is house of death and house of transformation, and it's also Dusthana house, so it's a bad one for the father one. The father one is sitting right behind him in the 12th house. So it's obvious that the father was destined to be killed, unfortunately, based on this chart. In Chara Dasha Jaimini astrology, it was a period Scorpio and Leo. Leo is a famous in Chara Dasha that bringing of situations of a fall or a loss or losses. And here we have a Bhatri Karaka in 12th house of losses from Scorpio, and in Leo it's also both Bhatri Karaka and Gnati Karaka are in aspect to the Leo. So that also gives us another confirmation of this unfortunate event. Let's go to the best event that he had in his life. He won a Grammy Award in 1998. By the way, this is exactly the time when he started his famous white parties in Hamptons. I don't know if it happened before Grammy nomination or after, probably after, because that was February 98, and as I understand, the first white party was sort of in the summer, so it was more close to the a summer months. So I guess what happened? He won the award and he decided, hey, I'm this lucky person who is the center of everybody's attention now, and why don't I, right? And so the period was Moon and Jupiter. Well, if you see Moon and Jupiter together in a chart, or they're in kendras from each other, first, fourth, seventh, or 10th house, they're forming very like a king or success yoga, and it's called Gaja Keshri yoga. And this brings luck, awards, all sorts of enhancing life situations. And so here, because Jupiter is in the 11th house of awards and Moon is in the 10th house of career, also Moon is forming Raja Yoga because it's a house of 9 house. It's a ruler of the 9 in 10th, so it's combining Trikona and Kendra. So Moon is already powerful here, plus Jupiter, the house of money, it's forming Dhana Yoga. It's a ruler of the 2nd house in 11, plus it's a ruler of the 2nd and the 5th. Together it's a Lakshmi Yoga. So it's like a multiple combinations for the monetary success as well, not only for admiring by other people's, right? Also Jupiter and Venus here are in a combination with a very beautiful star. It's one of the best star in my opinion in the sky. It's a fixed star and it's called Spica, as well as Arctur, right? There's an Arctur star. So that's why P Diddy, Puff Daddy, he was so he is talented. He's great in writing. He's great in combining words. He's perfectionist. I grew up with his song "I'll Be Missing You." I remember driving my first car on the highway, making the loudest possible music and singing and crying with the song. It's just so many emotions for me. So that's why to be honest, I see it's I don't know, I was surprised that it's all happened. That's why I decided to look into his chart and find the birth time to see why it happened. I didn't really looked into him before his arrest, so I had no idea about the Cassie situation. I had no idea about this a CNN leaked video with him abusing her in the hotel. So for me it was quite a surprise, a bad surprise, because I was a big fan. And so let's just let's go back to his chart. So we have for sure exact time birth, because this 100% confirm the death of father. And now also interesting, so in February 2004 he won another award, a Grammy, but it was not as fabulous as the previous one, because here he was part of the duo or group for the song Shake Ya Tail Feather. I don't even remember, to be honest, the song. In 2004 probably I was not interested in his music anymore, and the period in Vimshadri Dashi was Moon and Venus. So here Venus is losing in the planetary war to Jupiter, right? And it is in a weak position in the Virgo. It's a worst sign for Virgo, and it's still sharing houses. Exchanging the houses with the Mercury, so they're sort of making each other stronger. So it's not 100% in a bad position. Plus, it's a ruler of the 7th house of the partnership. So here we can see that it's explaining why he was part of the partnership, and that's why he won something, because there's a 7th house involved. So I'm certain in his birth time as of right now. And let's get back to the analysis, to the ascendant, to the Lagnesh, to see all these combinations. By the way, because I'm starting this YouTube channel, and I want, for the first few months, I want to make a free introductory course for whoever wants to learn about their own chart in Vedic astrology. So, but donation based. So if you pay what you want, you don't need to pay at all. You can download my introductory course into how to make your own chart, how to see what it's based on, what is the weakest part, what is the strongest part, if you will ever be successful, if you will ever have like a lottery, if you will be a lottery winner or you will not. So like it's all can really be seen through the Vedic astrology chart. So please use this opportunity while it's lasts, because I am going to give it away for free for the next few months for my first subscribers here on YouTube. So let's go back to his chart, right? And I don't want to start with the ascendant as normally, because for me it was very important to see not like who he really is, but like the tendencies, like it's important because I believe that truly believe in the phrase nurture versus nature, right? It doesn't matter what is your genetics, who was your parents. It's important how you grew up, who was your parents, the environment, it's like a flower in a good soil with the water, it will grow. If there's not enough water, if it's like constant abuse, the flower will not grow as well as in good circumstances. So here the sequence of dashas telling us that the child was probably physically and verbally abused. Probably it was some social abuse. There was no good authority figure by his side. No father. Mother, well, we see mother is Matrikarka moon in the 10th house with Ketu. So whenever we see moon with the Ketu in the 10th house, most likely his mom, when he was growing up, was working a lot. She was away a lot. So no mother around most of the time, no father around. Even though, he's speaking about his mom in a very nice way, and like he's all the time hugging her and kissing her, and there's definitely something weird about their relationship. I'm not gonna go into that, but let's read what he told about her when it was her birthday party, when he gave her this $1 million and a Bentley car, I believe. I only exist because of this beautiful, hardworking, loving, hilarious, ass-whooping, always telling me the truth, genuine, smart fly, absolutely amazing black goddess queen. I mean, I don't know, I'm not gonna speculate whatever other people are speculating on the internet. I think obviously he loved his mom, but if we put aside the mother situation, the moon is his emotional mind. Together with Ketu, it can give this lack of emotional intelligence for sure. It's like the person might feel numb. It gives a numbness, where he doesn't feel bad for his actions and he may continue mercifully hurt others. Let's remember that, because we're gonna see other significators like this. And let's remember, Roger Bonds was telling about him, he never truly sorry for anything, he's only sorry for being caught. That's what he said about his video of apologizing after Casey video being leaked, I believe. And so these houses in front of each other, 6 and 12, both with debilitated planets, very strong, significant. The ruler of the 6th house in the 3rd, and it's Lagnish, Mars, in the strongest position. Jupiter and Venus, both ruler their nakshatra Chitra, which gave him the success and social circle, right? And like all people, celebrities in that period, Moon and Jupiter, they were drawn to him. That's why he started this white parties, because all celebrities, all actors, everybody wanted to be around him. He was like this moment for him to shine. How did he use him? We already know that. Back in time, I mean, who knew? And so why I was mentioning Jupiter Venus here, because the ruler here is Mars. So his soul, his work, everything goes, all these energies goes through Mars in the third house. And that's very important part here. So with the sun in 12th house in the bad position, that's mean domination abuse. He was under domination abuse growing up, and he will be doing domination abuse with no morals to other people. Remember that moment when he started dating J-Lo, and Kim Porter at that moment was sitting at home with a newborn baby. That's like a no moral compass whatsoever. That person, that just shows us that person doesn't have any respect to any social norms, and he doesn't care. Like, and no one, like, the sun, the ruler of his nakshatra sun is Rahu. This combination tells us that everybody will treat this person like a king. He will be able to fool masses. With a Neptune on the ascendant, with a Scorpio ascendant, it's exaggerating this like everybody just bowing to him. With the Mars in third house, everybody give away their power to him. And how he used it? In another very good way, right? Saturn debilitated in the sixth house. Social abuse. He will be cheating in competition. Okay, here let's stop. I don't think that there's just rumors. I think there's actually pretty good chance that they might be not just rumors, that he might be connected with the Tupac Shakur death and Notorious B.I.G. death. That's just what I see, because Saturn is in the bad position, very, very, very bad. The person is a cheater. He will do whatever it takes to win. He will not be hesitant to cross any boundaries. Now, there's also connection with the 8th house of blackmail, right? 12th house, surveillance abuse and hidden cameras. Why? So he bought the video, right, from the hotel for 50K, where he's abusing, where we all see this abuse video with a Casey, right? He paid 50K to buy this video. Why he didn't destroy it? Why he saved it? And like, why would you do something like this? That's like just a perversion of the mind, I guess. Also, why, like, when the Kim Porter died, he came to the house and he took her phone. That's the first thing he did when she died. Why he did it? We only can speculate, we don't know for sure. Okay, so the Saturn and Mars is doing Parivartana yoga. So here we have so many yogas in this chart. That's why this guy is like so powerful, magnetic, so much potential, and how he used it. It's very sad, to be honest. So the Saturn and Mars Parivartana here, they can tell us that this dreamy guy in the beginning can chew you and spit you out at any given moment. Extremely unpredictable nature. He's unpredictable even for himself. I think he's like a cat in the bag even for himself in most of the times. Substance abuse. Everybody knows, right? He was using this medicine bag with him for 15 years. He was abusing different substances, right? So here we have Neptune in the 12th house that like give us this chance of like person being hooked on something that bring him to an illusory world. There's a Rahu in the 4th house where he cannot stop, where his desires are it's a vicious cycle. He never satisfied with anything. Whenever he gets something, the next thing he needs more. This is a perfect combination for abuse, for the junkie, right? And unfortunately, I can see also in his chart that if you're interested into that, I can make a separate video on that, on being molested as a child. Unfortunately, Ted Bundy, Eric Benendez, and P Diddy, these 3 charts have at least 2 things in common. the Jupiter and Venus connection, which give them this magnetic personality. Well, I'm not sure about Ted Bundy though. Let's 1 second. Yes, also Ted Bundy. Yes, they all have Jupiter Venus. It gives magnetic personality. The people are drawn to them. On top of his being Scorpio, who's like extremely magnetic, extremely enigmatic. People are like flies towards light, and it makes them burn more and more, but they keep flying till they get hurt, that they cannot fly anymore. That's what I see from their charts, you know. Also, as I said before, there's a big signs of being abused as a child himself, and he had a very bad sequence of Vimshotri Dasha when he was a child. That's telling us that he most likely was under abuse as well. And getting back to his 20s, the late of when he was 90 years old, and then getting into 20s when he got his first label, success. So, well, the interesting part, I remember I've read in the article, and then I saw in another video, so I might be sure that it's sort of truth, or maybe it's humorous, but anyway, it gives us something. It gives them some sort of information about. So when he was doing internship in another record label, he was seen with a man, and that's why he got fired. I don't know if it's humorous or not, and I don't know if it's humorous or not. When he was growing up in Harlem, he had a nickname, Sweet Pants. I cannot know this for 100%, but I can find sort of confirmation of this in his chart. He might be being abused because of his sensitive nature, because of his Scorpio ascendant, because of his secretive energy. He's sort of like it's like, you know, when I was doing my research on psychology on like childhood traumas, how does it work? So basically, when we're under 5, when something happens with us, it goes in subconscious level, and then whenever it gets triggered later on in life, there's like a few different like patterns that people can go through, and their psyche can go through to in order to deal with that trauma, right? And one of those are to relieve the same trauma over and over again, or try to relieve it over and over again, but on the other side of barricade. So if someone been abused in the spirit of life, when there's it goes into subconscious level under 5, he might want to abuse in order to cure himself. So they're going on another side of barricades, and I'm not sure, of course, I can only speculate here, but this is what I see here. And on top of being, whenever you see Mars Lagnesh in a strong position in the 3rd house is your own actions, connected with the 6th house, and there's a Parivartana. So it's a criminal. It's someone who will definitely do physical abuse in his life rather sooner than later. So if you see something like this in your boyfriend or in your future husband chart, this is something you need to. It's like a red flag. It's the biggest red flag you can ever see. The same we see in the Ted Bundy's chart. The same we see in Eric Menendez's chart. Abuse, being abused, becoming an abuser, and this ability to harm. Plus emotional numbness, lack of emotional intellect. Rahu in the 4th, uncontrollable desire to get more and more material, sensual, like all different, like sensual in the sense of like he all the time greedy for experiences. He got like, imagine you get the milkshake, you're not finished that one yet, you already want another one, like, and you know, you can take this and put it on anything else, on sex, on relationship with women, on drugs as well. So I think here we see something that, you know, he's been destined to do that. I don't see him having much choice. Like, the life didn't give him support. He didn't give him good moral compass. He didn't give him someone that he will have like a guru or a teacher who would help him to understand passion, impulsiveness, self-obsession, combative nature, mental tension, sensitivity, sharpness, irritability, authoritarianism, pride, aggressiveness, rebelliousness, impressionability, vulnerability, touchiness, vengefulness, sarcasm, intolerance, risk and indulgent gambling and addictive substances, competitive spirit, argumentative nature, provocativeness, greed, secretiveness, manipulation, introversion, self-punishment, caution, distrust, jealousy. So I recall a part of the interview where Roger talks about his relationship with a Kim Porter, and she was saying, my life doesn't belong to me anymore, because P Diddy was calling her 50 to 60 times a day. 50 or 60 times a day. I would go nuts, I guess. So, okay, now, just to briefly, because the video is already long, I want to mention that Jupiter and Venus in planetary war, it's losing to Jupiter. So remember how, I don't know if you remember, but Roger Bonds, in his interview, he said that, like, his women, they wanted to marry him, right? But because, in my mind, I think that Jupiter is the ruler of the second house of money and the fifth house of his creativity, right? His music. It's winning with Venus, and Venus is a ruler of the seventh house of partnership. So that's why he said that I do not want to share my money with them. Here I'm thinking, okay, that's why he's not marrying, but why don't he just use a prenup as other stars? I don't know, maybe there was no way to do this before. All this, what I mentioned here, is all creates a fertile ground for criminal character, manipulation, and also for the growth of dependencies and addictions. I did an extensive research. I cannot fit all of this into the video, so if you want to read the whole thing, I will put the link down below. So I want to go to the Rahu and Ketu now. Rahu is the head of the demon, and Ketu is the something from the past, like karmic depth or karmic, something good in your life. So considering that the Ketu here in the 10th house of career, that's probably, I don't know, he got it, like, he destined to be successful. But with the Rahu in the 4th house, the person trapped in his desires. He's like a hamster in a wheel. He's like, keep running. So his task, karmic task, till 45 years old, we all have this. His task, he's supposed to understand that whatever, like, you will want all the time something. The grass is always greener somewhere else. There's always new car. There will always new version of this, new version of that, and you need to learn. This is the number one task for him was, you need to learn to see the patterns. You need to realize that you cannot fulfill yourself with this. There should be other way to fulfill yourself. But considering the fact that he's already after 50 years old, and we know where he is, most likely he will never understand in this life, and it will go as a debt to the next one, right? With a bad placement of Rahu, people are prone to illegal and criminal activities. And let's not forget about the Saturn and Sun opposition, that it's exaggerate everything. So in numerology, sometimes I watch numerology to understand what was like the past life, and so numerology tells us about his past life as like he didn't have proper freedom. He was most likely a prisoner, and the life gave him so much chances. It gives him second chance to have all the opportunities in the world, to be able to create the life that he wanted with his own hand, and to feel like this satisfaction of doing that, with one little task: to be able to let go desires, to see the pattern and to stop desiring it. And in the next video, the second part, I will analyze his synastry with a Casey, and I want to explain you how their chart work together. And I have a feeling that she was sort of like his last chance to get this understanding. Also, I want to analyze his synastry with a Clive Davis to see if there's something. And I will do the analysis of the previous Vimshottari period and the next one to see like what led situation in his life that he's now, and what I think gonna be next for him, how it's gonna unfold. I'm gonna use several tools of Vedic astrology to analyze this, and I'm gonna do this in front of you so you can see how it works. And yeah, let's summarize the 36 minutes of me talking in front of camera. Here we see a perfect mix, a perfect recipe for the ideal victim turned into abuser. It's like a perfect story of a monster that created by another monster. A talented guy, sensually gentle in spirit, who grew up in a bad company under poor conditions, with so many challenges I have even no idea about. He possibly became a victim of abuse himself and found it necessary to build them impenetrable high walls with the reality and the environment, forcing his soul to relive the situation of abuse again and again in order to try to let it go. Only this time he was on the other side of barricades. Due to certain circumstances, he never passed the test of morality, ethics, and life, ultimately becoming the monster himself. So, I hope you enjoyed this analysis. Please subscribe and like and support my channel. I will see you in the next video about P Diddy. Okay, bye.